Hi there, I'm Akash and you're watching Tic Tac Tech. Now there are a lot of people on the internet who are telling you what phones are good and what phones are bad, but there's no one telling you what smartphone you should buy based on your needs and based on your price budget. And that is exactly what we do in our monthly smartphone guide which you're watching right now. Now we split it into 4 videos. If you want to buy a phone below 7,000 rupees, you're in the right video. If you want to buy a phone in a different price budget, maybe 8 to 15,000 or beyond, you'll find those price brackets listed here in other videos on your screen right now. Hit them if you want to go there, but if you want to get the best phone, say 7,000 rupees, you're in the right video. So before we start, I want to talk about how I recommend phones to people. So when I recommend a phone for you, what I want for you is I want this phone to last you for a long time. So a long time in today's world is about 1 or 2 or 3 years. I want that to happen. I also want you guys to have a stable experience. I don't want your phone to keep restarting and conking out and giving you problems. I want a stable experience for you, and I want to get you the best specifications and the best software that I can get you in that price budget. So those are the 3 things I look out for you guys when I recommend smartphones. So I might not always recommend the most popular smartphones out there because I might not think that they're the best, but I will recommend a stable, solid choice for you that will serve you well and get the job done. So let's start. Now let's start from the bottom of the line. As I said, we're going to recommend the best smartphones under 7,000 rupees. The first smartphone I want to recommend is the Carbon Sparkle V. Now this is also the smartphone that I recommended last month in the same price bracket. Why do I like this phone so much? Okay, so for those who don't know, the Carbon Sparkle V is the part of the Android One program by Google. Now Google wanted to give people smartphones that were cheap, around 6,000 or below, and they wanted these smartphones to offer a solid basic functionality, and that's exactly what this phone does. And what I love about it is that 3 things. Firstly, it's got stock Android. There's no crapware or any bullshit, It's just beautiful stock Android, and it works very quickly and smoothly. It also makes it much more reliable than most phones in this price bracket. So there's no bulk on top of the Android. It's clean, it's nice. The second thing I like about it is the design. Now it's a very holdable design. It's got a nice nice screen. It's not 4 inches or 5 inches, it's somewhere in between. So it's a very holdable device. It fits in your hand well. Even if you have small hands or big hands, I have big hands. And it's got a nice soft touch feel. It's very durable, and overall it's a very good smartphone. The third thing I like about it, it's got good specs. Now it uses a 1.3 GHz MediaTek processor. It's got dual SIM functionality. It's got a front camera. Now there are a lot of phones in this category that have front cameras, but very few of them have decent front cameras. And so overall, who's this phone for? Well, if you're getting your first smartphone and you want to get something that's inexpensive, this is for you. If you're getting a phone for someone at home, an elderly person, or a housewife or someone else who just wants basic functionality, this is an excellent smartphone because it's going to last them for a long time. It's not going to give them any problems, and it's going to get the job done. If you want to use WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Facebook, and a little bit browsing, a little bit videos, this is a great app to go for. This is a great phone to go for. It also plays games quite well. So this is our top recommendation in this price bracket. What do I recommend next? Now you climb the price bracket a little bit more, you've got the Motorola Moto E. Now the Moto E is quite similar to this phone. The difference is that it does not have a front camera. So if you want a front camera, you shouldn't get this phone. Apart from this, it's got a slightly bigger battery. It's about the same form factor, just around the same form factor, not very different. They have about the same screen size, and it also has stock Android, and it comes from Motorola, which is a company that makes very, very solid and reliable smartphones. So it's again another great smartphone, and it's one more phone that you can consider that I really like. It gets quick updates, but if you're really looking for the best bang for your buck, it is the Carbon Sparkle V. Another phone you can consider if you don't like the Carbon Sparkle V is the Motorola Moto E. It's quick, fast, efficient, and reliable. Has decent battery life. I was able to get about 9 to 9 battery life, which is 9 AM to 9 PM on moderate usage with this phone. Just like the Carbon Sparkle V, which I recommended previously, this phone will get all the basics done extremely well, but doesn't have a front camera, so that's the only con over there. Now, so these are my 2 top recommendations in this price bracket. I suggest you go try those phones out and see if you like them. And always, before you buy a phone, even if it's on the internet, make sure you try the phone out before you buy it. If it's from the internet, the phone's not available in a shop, go to a friend who's got the phone and make sure you use it before you buy it. It's very important to see if this phone works for you, which is what we care about. The third smartphone we're going to talk about today is the Lenovo A6000. Now, I'll tell you what I love and what I hate about this smartphone. At rupees 7,000, the Lenovo A6000 offers 4G, which is great. If you are very keen on using 4G, which most people are not because it's expensive right now, but if you are, it's a great phone to go to. It's kind of future-proofed in that aspect. Another great thing about it, it's got new specifications, new processing components. It uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 chip, which is quite new, and not too many phones have that. So you're getting new processing. It's got a gig of RAM, and more importantly, it's got a decent 8 megapixel shooter in the back, which is quite good for this price range. And apart from this, what I also like about this phone is that it's got a nice big fat battery. It's got a 2300 mAh battery, which is quite good. So you can expect decent battery life and slightly better battery life on this phone than the previous ones that we mentioned. What I don't like about this phone is that Lenovo, on top of Android, puts in their Vibe UI. Now, I've used Vibe UI many times in the past. I'm a previous Lenovo user. I used the P780, and the problem with Lenovo's phones is the Vibe UI is not that good. You know, it kind of slows your phone down now and then, and it's not as efficient as stock Android. So that is my only concern with this phone. It doesn't have stock Android, so it might be maybe 10 or 20% less reliable than the Carbon Sparkle V and the Moto E, both of which have stock Android. So it's got great specs, the Lenovo's A6000, but it's got Vibe UI, it doesn't have stock Android. So those are my gripes. So if you can live with Vibe UI, if you go to a shop and try that phone and you think that's good enough for you, you can get it. But apart from that, it's got great specs, and I really like how Lenovo is making that kind of a solid offering at such a low price point. The company's looking very competitive. So that was it, folks. Those are our 3 recommendations below 7,000. My first and most reliable and safest recommendation is the Carbon Sparkle V at about 5,100 odd rupees as of today on Snapdeal. Then comes the Moto E on Flipkart, which you can get for 7,000 rupees if you're lucky, and if it's a sale day, you can get it for 6,500 rupees. Keep watching out for those offers. The third recommendation is the Lenovo's A6000, which comes at 6,000 rupees. It's got great specs. It's got, in fact, the best spec sheet among the 3 phones here. But unfortunately, this phone has Vibe UI, which is not something I'm very keen on. But if you can live with non-stock Android, you should totally go ahead and get it. It's a nice spec sheet that this smartphone's got. So those are 3 recommendations. If you feel that you've got a little bit more money, you want to spend more than 7,000 rupees, maybe venture into the 8,000 to 15,000 rupee price category, you'll find a link right over here, which somewhere here, that talks about the best phones in that price category, 8 to 15,000, in the month of February 2015. And like I told you previously, there are a bunch of other videos we made as well for different price categories, so you can pick from one of those as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, you should hit the subscribe button below this window right here. It's a red button. When you hit that button, it really helps us out, because you know we can let you know about our videos as soon as they come out, and it'll also help if you keep watching them, so we can keep growing and helping you buy better smartphones. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.